Advantage playing baccarat for the professional player, full-time, or the side time hustler looking for your side hustle money. And that's the way we encourage you to play. We want you to set it up so that you have an amount of money you want to win every day, and we want to write it exactly to what that will accomplish for you, how you can do it. That's all you got to do is follow the rules that will be laid out for you. I call it a bespoke plan, a bespoke, fully holistic plan that will get you your money every day. All you got to do is go right by the rules that we lay out. We're going to show some ways tonight, and we'll see what we get for an outcome. And we'll talk about some other things as the kingdom comes on in. Gary Sherinian's here tonight. How you doing, Gary? Good to have you, and we're going to go over a couple of more things tonight. Trish Graves, I tell you, what can you say? What can you say? Hey, Chuck Ritter. Well, I've got something I can say, Trish, here in just a minute, and I'm going to say it. Springfield, Missouri is where Joseph Gurecki has wandered into tonight. That's a big jump all the way from Nevada. You're coming back faster than you went. Gerardo Gonzalez, good evening. The King's welcoming you to the kingdom, sir. This is where we do professional baccarat, full-time play, or as a side hustle. We advise you to be a side hustler like William Latta is. William Latta is a side hustler from you got to see him to believe it. We got KC Steve out there doing it also. We got Chuck Ritter out there. We got Corey Jensen out there. We got King John out there. We got people all over the place playing professional baccarat and being very successful. Oh my goodness. What a night we have tonight. Is it Tuesday night? I hardly pay attention to the day. I pay attention to dates, but I wonder if I'm one of those guys that is, if other older people like me don't pay much attention to the day of the week, you pay more attention to the date. That's what I do. I don't even need a calendar. To me is all numbers. It's not words. So if it says Sunday or Wednesday, that doesn't matter. The only thing I got to remember about Sundays is the day that I go to church. And I definitely do that every Sunday. Ron, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for the call. I spoke with Ron. Uh, he is either in Philadelphia or the greater Philadelphia area. He could be in Jersey, but he's nearby to Philadelphia, and gave me the full 411 on the iBlock box games. And Ron's been doing very, very well at it. He plays low roller, but and sometimes it's been a little bit of a task, but he's won every time he plays. And Ron plays a little bit aggressive. He plays a single, double, and triple, or triple chops, and that can get you in a little bit of trouble. But sometimes he's in a situation where there's nobody else playing, and so he can't really burn hands and that stuff. So he gets himself caught in a little bit of a mash over it. Hey, Gil Rary and Frank Staubin, good evening. The king is here for you, sir. JP says hello. I love it. Well, hello to JP always. Love JP, the number one realtor in Manhattan. You gotta love him and respect that. I start tonight by saying that we have fully flipped the world upside down. Kevin Sprouse, how you doing? Ewan, Choice Bank, welcome aboard. And we fully flipped the world upside down, at least the North American continent, when we have a situation where a ice hockey team in Florida has won the Stanley Cup championship, and a Major League Baseball team in Canada has won the American League championship. That's where we have come. Congratulations to the diversity of our great continent and the wonderful people that we have between Canada all the way down to Florida, and to all of those, and most especially to our wonderful kingdom dweller, Trish Graves. Congratulations. Spectacular fashion. You can't bury those guys. They were left for dead, and they continued to play the game. I love it. That's one of the great things about baseball. The clock can't run out on you. They got to get 27 outs. I said there's a lot of things about baseball that really make it what it is, but that's one of the things. No clock. It's just there it is. Going to have to get 27 outs on them From New Jersey, Ron is. Okay. Yeah, go. But he's an Eagles fan. There you go. Congratulations from all of us to Trish and to the Blue Jays, and wishing them well as they go up against certainly another monster task. And the Dodgers are going to be who they're going to be. But the game has to be played and the outs have to be recorded. So so this is a little bit of a somber night for me. I won't get too bad on it for you, but tonight was the night that Charlie Kirk was going to be at Indiana University, and I had it circled on my calendar. The calendar does not tell me that it's Tuesday. The calendar that tells me that this is the night Charlie Kirk is going to be in the IU auditorium, and I was just so much looking forward to it. And so, because of the events, the tragic taking of his life and leaving his wonderful wife and children without a husband and father, it just saddens me and saddens most of us very deeply. So today, in honor of Charlie, I wore my shirt. So let's see if you can get a look at it. So there is my shirt, Freedom, and signed by Charlie Kirk. Hey, there's the king. I don't put my ugly face on here very often. Yeah, so they went ahead with the show tonight. Tucker Carlson came to town, but I didn't want to go out there and see Tucker. It's not that I have anything against him, but I'd grown a connection to Charlie Kirk when he distinguished in a family life, a husband and a wife with children, how important the children are to the husband and the wife. But he then drew the line and he said, "But you don't have a covenant with your children. They belong to you, they're your responsibility. But as a man, the covenant you have is with your wife, and she's the one that matters. She's the one that you're pledged to, and she's the one that you must take care of above all thing else." And I look back at all the things that go on in our world, and I would say this: if we would have husbands who honored the covenant they have with their wife, and the wife honored the covenant that has with the husband, so many of the problems that we have in the world would be gone right away. Okay, I'm not going to go any further down that rabbit hole with you. Just giving you what the king feels about things, and that was what Charlie espoused. Charlie espoused the covenant that he had with Erica, and that's why when I see her and know she will have the rest of her life without her husband, it really gets at me. And in so many ways, Kevin, that's why I defer to saying that God knows more than we know, because God knows we're not here very long, and God knows we're there for eternity. And that's where Charlie is. And by taking Charlie, or maybe just allowing Charlie to be taken, in many respects, God created a million more Charlies. So that's kind of a really neat thing, because I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm a Charlie Kirk right now. I'm not as smart as he was. I'm not as educated in the ways that he was. I certainly couldn't do the things that he did. But I can honor life the way he did, and I can honor my God the way that he did. And so the basics of life I can follow, and I'm doggone well going to do that. So in myself, I'm probably the least of the Charlies in the country, but I'm going to be one of them, and I'm going to stand up to it. So to all of you in the kingdom, no matter your political stripe, no matter how you vote, we don't take people's lives. We allow people to have their opinion. I uh, I go back all the way to Patrick Henry when he said, "I don't agree with you, sir, but I would fight to the death for your right to say it." I wish that we could be like that today. Okay, so Hickey 2K20. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. So we're going to play a little bit more mid roller, maybe almost high roller tonight. Single chop though. And I've gone back around to where I'm going to go ahead and play the baseball bet and martingales, all three, because I kind of, like I say a lot, a lot of times I'll tell you, we don't learn much by simply winning. You learn by how do you get out of it when things go wrong. And that's why we talk about the bankroll, because the bankroll is necessary for in the event of things going terribly wrong, because sometimes they will. And if they do, you've got to be prepared to do it. And so we talk about here's how you do it when things go wrong. Hey, 2K20, I'm yapping because that's what I do, brother. Um, the guy Rye, nice to have you. Um, things going wrong is what you got to be able to beat. And so I'm hoping that things go wrong tonight. I'm hoping I have to play 3 hours. That'd be okay with me. I don't have anything to do. And you guys could leave anytime you wanted to leave. It'd be no problem at all. So we're going to play plus 250. We're going to play minus 225. That's plus 10 units of $25. That's minus 9 units of $25. We're going for a $250 win or thereabouts, within reason. And of course, you want to win on one hand. That's one of the secrets to this algorithm is not playing a long time. You play a long time if you have to, but we're not here for entertainment. We're here to get the money. Going to shuffle these up. We got 3 baseball bets coming up. We bet banker, martingale, 3 times. $250 is the bet. And I'll try to keep up as I'm going here, but we got a $250 bet on banker right there. Just like that. That's what we're trying to shoot for. And there it is. There's the win. So we won $250 minus 5%, but that is still a session win. And I'm going to hang around a little bit longer for you. I'm not going to quit, but I would quit if I was at the casino. I would quit right now if I was at the casino because I have made my money. I've made my $250 a day. And $250 a day is about a gross annual salary of $130,000 a year, maybe 135. So if you can do that without having a job, that's what you should do. And what I'm telling you now is if you had the bankroll and you follow the rules and play the Joey Knish way, you'll make $250 every day for the rest of your life. Hey, Michael Steinfeld. Always got my back. There he is. Don't mess with Michael Steinfeld. I'm going to tell you what, you're picking on the wrong fellow there. Ted Rogers. Hey, buddy. Welcome aboard. I'm wearing my Charlie Kirk shirt tonight. Loving America, loving freedom, loving our wonderful people up north that now are the home of the American League champions. Excuse me. So now we would play single chop. And I wouldn't go down 225 now because I'm starting a new session. This is as though that first session did not occur. So I'm going to bet $250 on the player. And let's see what happens to us now, because that's a single chop. We have a single banker win there. So now we're betting that it will chop over because we're playing single chops and only single chops. So here we go on the player. With a tie. And just hate it like that. You had to take a card. You took a card and it reduced you. So we had the win in the pocket, and when we had to take the card, it reduced us back to the tie. Repeating the bet. It loses it. So now we've got no bet because we've got a streak of banker. We got to have a chop to play against. There's the chop with the player. So now we're going to play plus 10 units of 25, which is a $500 bet. Perfect. I wanted to lose tonight. I truly did. So now we have got 2 and 2. So we got to have a chop over to make the next bet. We've got 3 player wins there. And now a banker win. So I'm going to play the player up 10 units of 25. See how deep this hole will get on us. And there is the 750 win. So that got us right back to dead even. So now our next bet is going to be 250 because we're dead even there. I could lower from 750 down to 25, but there's no reason to risk that amount of money. We have got a chop here, so we're going to bet $250 on the banker right here, betting that it'll chop back over. Single chop night. No reason to bet any more than the 250 if that's all you need to bet. And that got the money. Now I want to explain that a little bit further because when you first begin playing, as we did then, that was a reset, I call it. We went right back to the 250. When you're playing the very first bet, all you have to win is one of the first two bets and you have your money. You could win the first bet or you can win the second bet, either way. And that's why it's so strong to do that if you can. And you should reset even though you're close, even though it's not exactly right. If it's close enough, go ahead and reset. Take as least risk as possible with your bankroll and get your money and go. Now we started tonight with 3,605,095. And we have 571, and so that actually is a total profit of 571 less the 095. So it's approaching $500 for $485 because we paid the 5% commission on those banker wins. Hope everybody saw it, gets to know it. I'm going to continue to preach it. I did see a comment today that said the governor of Illinois had won $1.4 million playing blackjack in Las Vegas. Now, I just want to tell you why I was skeptical. I don't know how he would have done that. And he said, well, I just got really lucky. The comments when somebody is telling you a story can sometimes let you know whether you think that your legs being pulled a little bit, and our legs being pulled by this. So this guy is a billionaire, and he uh, purportedly won $1.4 million in a Las Vegas casino because he got lucky at blackjack. And I would be saying this, yes, if you're going to win at blackjack, you do have to get a little bit lucky. Not meaning you don't know when to hit or how to hit. I'm not saying that. I mean, the cards can come any way they come. But when he says 1.4, he didn't say I won over a million. He didn't say I won one and a half. He said 1.4. That little detail bothers me a little bit. To add to it that, well, I just got really lucky, that also my Occam's razor in my brain says I got a problem with this story. And then he further compounded it by talking about all the great casinos that he has in Chicago. And why don't you guys come out and play there? And at the same time said, hardly anybody ever wins in a casino, and I just got very lucky again. So I just don't, the story stinks. That's all I'm saying. The story stinks. It stinks more than Mickey Massey having $14 million laying on the top of him and him saying that the picture isn't photoshopped and that the casino actually gave him all that money. Anybody's allowed to believe whatever they want to believe. But I also don't know this for a fact, but I'm going to ask a question to the kingdom. Let me ask Chuck Ritter. He did inherit his money. It all came from his family. Yes, he won all of his money came from his family, over $1 billion. And somehow he is a blackjack player at 1.4 million. Somehow he happened to be in Vegas when he did it at an undisclosed location, at an undisclosed time, in an undisclosed way. There's way too many holes in the story. But I want to ask Chuck Ritter a question, and any of you can respond to this. If you won $1.4 million gambling in Las Vegas, do you owe 38% of that money to the federal government? That's my question. Do you owe 38% of the 1.4 million to the Treasury? Or are you just allowed to keep all the money? Now we know that if you won it on a slot machine, they're going to take the money and pay the IRS themselves. But if you won it at a table game, I'm guessing you still have to pay the taxes. I'm guessing that when they cash you out, and I don't think they're gonna give you the money, I think they're gonna keystroke it to your account. But when they do, I think they're going to alert the treasury that you won this amount of money playing at that casino. And yes, when you file your taxes, you could write off the losses you had if you had losses, but the way he's talking, he didn't have any. So, okay, Chuck Ritter said, yes, you gotta pay the taxes. I thought it was interesting that a left-wing governor who can't tax enough, um, wouldn't talk about the taxes that he paid on his 1.4 million. That's about, red flag number 5 in the story for me, and so see, Brian Brown, you seem to take him right at the table, don't you? Yep. I think we have a, uniform ruling that you can't just simply win 1.4 million and fly back to Illinois, that it just doesn't work that way, and so the Treasury tries to figure out every way that they can get money from you, and a guy who's governor of one of the most taxed states in America would seemingly know that. But anyway, it doesn't even matter if it's a made up story or not. I don't care that much. It's just I I always pay attention to the details of a story and see if I get a red flag anywhere or not. And I don't make a response over one red flag, but once I get to like the fourth or the fifth one, that's a little bit much. So cash out more than 10K in a day, you're going to be taxed. Yep, yep. And that takes us back to one of the reasons I'm talking about this. I mean, I don't even encourage high limit rooms of you guys of trying to pool money to where you have $500,000 and you go in and play. And one of the reasons there's two reasons right off the top, but two that make sense. Let's just talk two that make sense. Um, the 5% commission you're going to pay on banker wins gets to be a staggering amount of money when you make a huge bet. It's one of the things like I see Dana White make a $200,000 bet on banker, and I'm going, oh my God, don't do that. I mean, you're just throwing money away if you win, and if you lose it all. I mean, if I were going to play that way, I would look for ways to just to play player only. I'm just not gonna pay a 5% commission on that kind of money, but I'm never gonna play that kind of money. I don't care how much I have. I'm talking to you guys about side hustling and, ideally going ahead and playing a $25 no commission table, getting your money every day and just getting it every day. Raise a bankroll as high as you can get. I mean, $25,000 is an ideal bankroll. That's 100 times the 250 you could win every day, and the 250 you can win every day is solid, solid money. Always keep in mind that you're going to need um, like a $25 minimum and a $10,000 maximum. You don't want a really low ceiling and maximum bets. And you can go ahead and play the baseball bet martingale and go to Delaware after that. And I do urge you to go 10-9, no matter what you're starting at. But you also can do 5-4 if that works. But those are the kinds of Delabares that work strongest for us. And and I'm saying that because I want everybody out there to hear it. I don't like casinos. I'm not trying to sell this. This right here, if I told you I had a way that you could win baccarat for the rest of your life every day, what is that worth? It's worth a lot. We gave it away. We formulated it together, me and the key people here in the kingdom, and we want everybody to know how to do it, and we want everybody to go win it. I don't want you going there and playing pandas and dragons. I don't want you playing ties. We've done that for fun, but don't do that. I want you to go in there and I want you to win one doggone bet. Out of those first two bets, win one and leave. Put your money in your own LLC account, grow your bankroll, live your life to its fullest. God said to you to live your life abundantly and rejoice in the day He's made for you. I don't think any way better to do it than taking money from a casino. It's the best way. And since I sat right there in the South Point Casino in Vegas and played for 4 straight days and cleared $3,800 and was told straight up by the pit boss they didn't care how much money I won. I think he cared if I won 380,000, but he didn't care if I won 3,800. He comped my room for 4 nights and gave me food every day. Said, please come back. We believe we'll get you eventually. Okay. Maybe they will. We don't know when we're gonna go back, but we'll talk about that also. To all of you tonight, thank you for joining. I will be back with you night after tomorrow night. You live in the greatest North American continent that you can live in. Enjoy your life to its fullest and know that the King's loving you. And I will see you night after tomorrow night. And we'll reinforce these things that we're doing, and we'll all be ready to go play and get that money every time. Good night, guys.